Okay, so today we're going to talk about the different types of word problems, and these are all addition and subtraction word problem types. And a lot of times people just think with addition and subtraction, they think that a problem is either an addition problem or a problem is a subtraction problem. But there's actually 4 different types of addition and subtraction problems, and it really has to do with what action is happening in the problem. So I'm actually going to skip the part whole one first and talk about comparing problems. So comparing problems is one person or one thing has more or less than the other person or thing in the problem. Or they could be, or using any other comparison. So one thing could be shorter, one thing could be taller, one person could be faster, one person could be slower. So anything where you're comparing things, these are comparison problems. And we talked to the kids about looking for those comparison words: more than, less than, anything that's a word like faster, shorter, taller, longer. So that's comparing problems. Then there's what's called joining problems, and that's where the action is somebody is getting or gaining something. They're starting out with something small, they're getting more, and they end up with something big. And then we have separating problems, which separating problems are where someone's losing, using, or leaving. So in that case, you're going to start out with something big, something's going to go away, and you're going to be left with something smaller. And then we have part, whole, which are just you take 2 or more parts, and when you put them together, you make a whole. So a lot of people think that comparing problems and losing or leaving problems are always subtraction problems. And they think that part, whole problems and joining problems are always addition problems. But that's not actually true. And it really depends on what piece the question is about. So for example, in the comparing problem, if your question is about how much does the person with the larger amount have, then you're actually going to add to find the answer. Of course, if you're looking for the difference or what the person with the smaller amount has, then you would subtract. And even though these pictures all look different, you can all see in every picture that there's a big piece and that there's smaller pieces. And so when you're looking for the big piece, you're always going to be adding. And when you're looking for the smaller pieces, you're always going to be subtracting. Now, of course, adding and subtracting are related, and you can always count up even when you're subtracting. But it's the idea that when you're looking for a smaller piece, you're going to have to end up with a smaller number than whatever your bigger piece is. Same thing with here. Like I said, a lot of people think that losing or leaving, whenever they see the word left, they always think, oh, it's got to be a subtraction problem. But it depends on what the question is asking. For example, if you had one where it said, you have a certain amount of people, then some more left, and you ended up with this. If it asks the question is about how many did you start with, well, that's your bigger piece. So you'd actually add to get that answer. So if you look at the other videos about adding and subtracting, about the different problem types, I'll go over examples of each different problem type and how with each different problem type, you can always have a way where you add and you can always have a way where you subtract.